Welcome back to Taking It Back. I am Joseph Kick, your host, and today's topic is physical media in the ever-changing world of AI. So we've talked a lot about albums and artists and music and songs and the culture around it all, but I really want to talk about a bit more of a, niche world that's growing again because streaming became a really big thing a few years ago when Spotify and Apple Music started growing online, and then streaming became more of a norm because it was a lot easier and you can listen to a lot more music within a short amount of time and you didn't have to buy it necessarily. You could basically rent it is what I'm going to say today. So vinyl and CDs used to be how artists knew how popular and important singles and albums were, but nowadays we have streaming platforms which turn out to not be completely the perfect alternative. One, a subscription every month technically means you're borrowing the music. And two, any time of day they can remove and make any song or album unavailable to the listener, which means even though you personally don't experience, the loss of music, or they don't normally just remove music off of any platform regularly, but these companies have the opportunity to do so if they wish. And just for example, one really big artist that people have spoken about is Mariah Carey removing her Glitter album. And some people are saying it's because, there's the anniversary in September, and then, after the anniversary, she's probably bringing back the album and a bunch of different things along with the anniversary. But where was I? Yes, it is fun making playlists, but you have to remember these songs and artists don't exactly always get paid as much as they should be getting paid on a usual basis, which is kind of terrible for the artist, but great for the listener. But playlists are fun because, you can put together a bunch of different songs and artists you enjoy within one little capsule of your own kind of world. But it also sacrifices your true ownership of your favorite songs and albums. So you can listen to the songs, you can stream them as much as you want, but you don't own it. You don't actually have that album, and that's why vinyl and CDs are coming back, because you might have the opportunity to listen to said song or said album, but you don't necessarily own it. So if one day, let's say, Spotify was like, hey, Thriller was a great album, but nope, not anymore. We're going to take this away, and they just remove it off the platform. They could do that if they really wanted to. I don't think they're actually going to. That was just an example. But in an ever-changing world where AI is growing a bit bigger and bigger by the hour, I kind of want to mention AI because, everyone is talking about it. Everyone knows that AI is growing and it's changing the world around us day by day. And it's hard to sacrifice something so personal and important to oneself, because let's not forget that a lot of AI-driven content is pushed out every day to users on social media and streaming platforms. If it sounds like I'm reading it, it's because I made notes for this episode. It's a bit of a special episode where I kind of go off and I kind of wrote out the episode, if you will. I decided, I'm also going to put my personality into this. I'm also going to be like, hey, and add on to what I wrote down here. And as you might understand, AI is a good tool. I personally think this, by the way. This is my personal opinion. I think AI is a great tool, but not something necessarily essential unless you create an environment that allows it to be. Which means basically, if your house is full of tech, like your alarm system, your vacuums, your appliances, and all those smart little things, if you create an environment like a smart house, is what I'm describing. If you create a smart house that allows AI into your house and creates an environment suitable for it. Don't get me wrong, I still use AI every now and then. I do. I won't lie about it because there's no point in doing that. But that does not mean that I use it to a point where there's no return. Meaning I don't make a bunch of content and I don't go on ChatGPT and say, write me a TikTok that would be funny, or write me a TikTok about a serious topic that people will think is relatable. I don't use it in that way. I like to be relatable without having something else tell me what that is, But many people love it and others don't. don't. But if that comes to music, I'm going to try and keep it today to music and less in general AI, because I believe there is going to be a room for artificial music. And we're going to call it that because it really is. If there's no actual artist and if AI is basically producing it, it is basically artificial music. And because a song is only impactful for living beings who lived through life vicariously and understand how to express themselves in a vulnerable and honest state of mind, should we be allowing AI to create something as important as the music we listen to? Because the whole reason music is so popular and so important to so many people around the world is because it's from someone who's experienced something personal and has gone through something everyone else can be like, hey, I've gone through this too. I love this song because you said so and so. You know, if it's AI creating it, there is no soul, no life behind that. And that's what people don't like about this artificial music. And the thought that is going behind it is just the computer's trying to find something catchy, something weird, something unique, something that people would like. I don't know. I think music is a personal experience for not only the artist, but also the listener, which means if AI is making it, then it's not really personal. It's just like something that you can listen to, but there's no real meaning behind it because the thing that wrote it didn't actually go through whatever it's singing about. I don't know if I can call it singing because there are no vocal cords either, which is weird to say. I've never really spoken about AI this way before, but maybe this is me projecting a bit of dislike for AI, but one can only hope that as a human species, we can all collectively understand the good and bad of AI within music specifically. Now, if you choose to make these songs and create something artificial, there isn't much I can do, obviously, but I can hope that with this episode, every listener understands how AI can be used within a safe and moderated environment within their life without consuming every minute with AI making every decision. We already are able to do so many different things as one of the smartest species on the planet. I mean, we created AI and now we're letting AI create us. That just doesn't sound right. It just shouldn't be happening, I personally believe. Oh my gosh, I actually love what I wrote here because it's so perfect. But I wrote, why do we confine our minds to a small computer who doesn't even understand the impact of Michael Jackson's Thriller or Mariah Carey's My All, or even Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again? Now, what I'm comparing here are three super popular, culturally impactful songs that, I mean, your grandparents know, your parents know, your kids know, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your distant grandfather or whatever, you know, they all know these songs because they made such an impact, either back when it was released or later on. Let's all remember that we can be creative, intelligent people whom live their lives through the eyes and minds in which we already own, because everyone's been, you know, doing these challenges where they let AI decide this for them, or what they wear, what they eat, where they go. And I think for a challenge, sure, that can be interesting and fun, but for people who do it on a regular basis, like I see people constantly like, oh, I don't know where to go to eat, or oh, I don't know what to make, and then they're asking AI to basically get them a recipe or create a whole meal plan for them. I guess it can be okay, but we shouldn't be relying on AI to live our own life for us. You know, we should find a way that to do things in our life without having to rely on a computer to do it for us, because for the past several thousands of years, animals and living beings have been able to live through their own opinions and lives and minds and intelligence, and they didn't have AI. And now that we're, you know, living in an age where we have this tool, I think it's important that we remember that whether it's music or just our daily life, I think it's important to know that AI shouldn't have full control over it and should only be used used within a healthy amount of our life, whether that's just a quick question or maybe, help solve a, a mathematical equation. But then again, there are things that AI will get wrong, so you can't always rely on it. Even music, you can tell it's very flawed. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of special episode I created where I kind of had it scripted, but I also went off script and did my own thing because that's literally all I've been doing for the past 6 episodes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to follow me either here on YouTube or on Instagram at JosephTheVoice04. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.